Rats is a 1984 post-apocalyptic sci-fi horror film from director Vincent Dawn. The movie opens with a text crawl explaining the backstory. It seems last year we blew up the Earth. Well, that certainly explains a lot. The survivors moved underground, where they lived for centuries, until some of them got tired of it and returned to the surface.
In the year 225 A.B., after the bomb.
Yeah, I figured AB meant after the bomb, considering you just said it a few sentences ago. A gang of survivors is leaving the desert to search a local city for supplies. Knowing some of the shady stuff they did in Italian exploitation movies, this is most likely a real skeleton. Motorcycles and modified UPS trucks are what these movies are all about. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees! When I think leader of a gang of mercenaries, I'm not envisioning them prominently wearing an ascot. They arrive in Diamond City and bring out another guy in a motorcycle for some reason. If I'm going to be in this movie, I don't want to wear something stupid. Don't worry! Now here, put on your corset, cape, and fedora. They raid a building that looks pretty good for being at least 300 years old. The group's searching for supplies and finds a fridge full of rats. In the back room, they find crates filled with food that somehow the rats didn't chew their way into. Hey look, we found all this food, what should we do? Waste it!
This is sugar! It's sugar!
Pour some sugar on me was not meant to be taken literally. I'm not sure what's worse. The fact that the black girl in the group is named Chocolate, or this.
Look, I'm all white! I'm whiter than all of you!
It seems legit. 30 seconds after becoming white, she loses the ability to dance. One of the gang finds a bed with a rat snacking on a corpse.
Oh sure, you guys pig out and it's fine. We do it and you all scream.
Stop it! What's all this screaming about?
Kurt thinks whoever it was murdered.
But we can't see any sign of murder. How do you explain that?
Quite easy, really. You haven't even searched the body. Duke's messing with the rat and gets what he deserves. The rest of the group is searching the building and they find this guy. Mr. Bond!
Look, I know you think we did it, but it totally wasn't us, okay?
Video sneaks up and surprises Chocolate. Maybe you shouldn't startle the person with a gun? They discover the rats have been strategically hiding corpses all over the place. They find a control room with a giant computer.
This, gentleman, is a video game.
He's not lying, it's the controller for Steel Battalion. Chocolate makes Video an offer if he can get it to work.
I'll make you pregnant.
What?
I'll make you pregnant.
Sounds like she's taking a page from Tracy Morgan.
I do karate and get girls pregnant.
He fiddles around and manages to turn it on. Noah finds a greenhouse and a water purifier. Lilith is having trouble figuring all this out.
How could it happen?
Guy, somebody drew on your forehead while you were sleeping? Video kicks the computer and it starts spitting out lines of BASIC. 300 years into the future and they still haven't progressed beyond a VIC-20. The computer tells them what it was programmed to do.
Total elimination of the group. What does that mean?
They really are stupid.
It means...
Noah shows the groups the plants that are growing on top of Burger King's salad bar. It's night, so they take the corpses outside and burn them. That won't attract any attention or anything. Video comes to get his payment from Chocolate. Look, I'm not leaving here until you get me pregnant. The smell of delicious cooked humans is bringing the rats in droves. Lucifer and Lilith are annoying the rest of the group.
If you must copulate...
This dubbing is the best. They want to leave, but the sleeping bag zipper is stuck. Everyone thinks this is hilarious, except for Myrna, who might be dead. They take it outside so the rats can watch. Now that they're finished copulating, Lilith is relaxing on Lucifer, and it's gonna get all in her hair. They get into an argument, and Lucifer storms off. Noah gets hit with a rat tsunami. Lucifer's stumbling around drunk, and the rats aren't really all that interested in him. Actually, there's a whole bunch of them, and they don't seem to care at all. It's almost as if someone off-screen is throwing rats at him. Here, have a rat. Here, have another rat. Here, have a whole bucket of rats. Lilith is in a sleeping bag, and a rat goes exactly where you think it goes. Noah shows up covered in rats. Hey guys, I'm still alive. Maybe you can help me get these rats off, and oh my god, why would you do this? Some poor Italian stuntman gets set on fire and slowly spins around until he finally falls out a window. They search the inside for Lucifer.
It's filled with rats!
No, it isn't. Myrna's overacting just a bit.
Don't let them eat me! Don't let the rats eat me! Ah! Ah! Ah!
They find Lucifer's body, so Kurt torches it. The rats seem to have night fever and have eaten holes in all the tires of their vehicles. What a tragedy. With no way to escape, they barricade themselves inside the building. Why would they do this? They're just locking themselves inside with the rats. Unless hordes of deathclaws roam the streets at night, I think they'd be safer out there. The group's trying to figure out what turned the rats into intelligent killing machines. Oh, I don't know, perhaps this? Deuce explains that when the humans moved in underground, the rats took over the surface world. Oh no, there's one window they didn't barricade that for some reason Diana's gonna go over and stand next to. Since Diana's injured, some of them go to the basement to get water. Duke, Myrna, and Chocolate stay behind. Duke wants to take over as leader and tries to get Myrna on his side. They get to the basement, but the water's been polluted with rats. They go to leave, but the stairs are covered in rats. Kurt's out of fuel, so he makes a torch to keep them at bay. Taurus falls down and the rats eat him. No, they don't. They just kinda sit around. This one runs away. They head back to the infirmary and Duke blocked the door. Rat stampede! Open the door! The rats are kind of minding their own business. Chocolate uses Myrna's fear of everything to get Duke out of the way.
Myrna! Look out! There's a big rat!
Kurt wants to kill Duke, but Myrna begs him to spare his life. They hear Taurus, so they go to look for him and leave Diana in the infirmary. They find Taurus right where the rats left him. If that wasn't silly enough, he explodes rats. Diana's suddenly fine and catches up with the group. Duke and Myrna try to get away. He sees the truck's full of rats, so he blows himself up. Diana takes off and kills herself before the rats get her.
Whoa, lady, we're not even in the same room.
They double back to the computer room where the rats left Lilith. How did they move her here? They throw her body outside and lock themselves in the room. They find a recording from the group that was there before them. The scientist explained that the rats somehow became intelligent and learned how to hunt humans. Meanwhile, some of the scientists from underground come to the surface to kill the rats. The rats somehow use Lilith's body as a battering ram and bust down the door. They kill Kurt and Deuce so Video and Chocolate escape. The scientists find them and take them outside. They think they're safe until the scientists reveal who they really are. This is the greatest thing ever! The movie was filmed in Rome by famous Italian exploitation director Bruno Mattei under the pseudonym Vincent Dawn. He'd been using the pseudonym Jordan B. Matthews, but his Spanish distributors didn't like the name, so he changed it to Vincent Dawn as an homage to Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Mattei stated he dislikes all of his movies, and if he could, he'd reshoot them all. However, out of all the films he's directed, Rats is one of his favorites. Mattei said in an interview that the rats weren't rats, but guinea pigs. Either he's misremembering or there's some sort of mix-up in the translation, because this is a guinea pig, and these clearly are rats. Perhaps he meant large mice? The movie was written by another famous Italian exploitation director, Claudio Fragasso, who frequently worked with Mattei. He wrote the film to be a ripoff of Night of the Living Dead, with rats replacing zombies. The leader of the gang, Kurt, is an homage to Kurt Russell from John Carpenter's The Thing. Being an Italian post-apocalyptic film, it's sometimes listed as Part 3 of The Bronx Warriors. The movie is also listed sometimes as Blood Kill. The code in the movie was apparently from a Commodore 64 game called Zap. The sets in the film were the same ones used in the Italian-American production Once Upon a Time in America. This is possibly my favorite Mattei film. Like his other works, despite the cheap effects, silly plot, and bad dubbing,
In the cellar, we found strange and wonderful things.
the movie is overwhelmingly entertaining. The movie does leave us with some unanswered questions. Did the computers really make the rats violent, or was it evolution? How are the rats able to move the corpses around? Were the other scientists the rats ate human or rat hybrids? Were the rat hybrids friendly? I mean, the guy shakes his head yes that they're friends, but then it starts growling. Despite all the ridiculousness, the film does have an interesting social commentary about how humans and rats have switched places. The rats were drawn to the surface after the humans retreated underground, and now when we return, we're the ones intruding on their domain. The humans are destructive, breeding, and wasting food. The rats were simply exterminating them like the vermin they became. I never felt the gang was in any sort of trouble. If anything, I felt bad for the rats who were being tossed around by the bucketful. Which leads me to this. There was some animal cruelty, with the rats being brushed aside or thrown around. Thankfully, it's nothing to the degree of Cannibal Holocaust, or any number of other exploitation films. They don't kill the rats or mice or whatever they are. They just aren't very nice to them. Despite the fact that the apocalypse happened in 2015, the movie still has plenty of 1980s artifacts. Rotary phones, big computers, and even bigger hair. Not to mention the fact that it's now 300 years in the future, and they still have plenty of gasoline. I can't hold that against the movie though, because that's something present in almost every post-apocalyptic film. Although this one has something those others don't. The most wonderful, most ludicrous, most nonsensically brilliant ending in cinematic history. Or at least in exploitation history.
This, gentlemen, is a video game. I should know that's how I got my name.